ever been to a coffee shop and struggled to order your coffee in English? Stop saying I want coffee and learn how to do it like a native.
Yeah, it can be really embarrassing. But today, we're going to take you through 5 levels of English listening practice to master conversations at a coffee shop.
Let's start with level 1. At this level, you just need to know the basics. You can say I'll have a coffee, please, or can I get a coffee?
That's right, and at level 2, you can start to get a bit more specific. You can say I'll have a latte or can I get a cappuccino?
Now, let's try to use a natural expression. You can say I'll have a coffee to go, or can I get my coffee to take away?
Exactly, and another useful phrase is can you make it a large, or can I get a bigger size?
Pause and guess. What do you think the phrase room for cream means in a coffee shop context? It means you want some space left in the cup for cream or milk. So, if you want a coffee with room for cream, you can say, can I get a coffee with room for cream, please?
That's a great phrase to know, and we'll be covering more phrases like this as we move on to the next levels. And don't forget to use polite language. You can say, can you please, or I'd like, to make your request sound more polite.
Now, let's practice using these phrases in a conversation. Liam, can you order a coffee using some of the phrases we've learned so far?
Sure, I'll have a large latte with room for cream, please. And can you make it extra hot?
Great job, Liam. And now it's my turn. I'll have a cappuccino to go, please. Can I get a bigger size? Let's move on to the next level and see what other phrases we can learn.
I'm excited to see what's next. Let's do it. All right, so we're moving on to level 3 of our coffee shop conversation. Now we're going to practice ordering a bit more complex drinks.
That's right. At level 3, you want to be able to ask for customizations like extra foam or syrup. For example, you could say, can I get a grand iced coffee with room for cream and an extra shot of espresso?
Exactly, and don't forget to use phrases like can you make that, or I'd like to add, to make your request clear.
Now let's try a role play. I'll be the barista and you can order your drink. Remember to use what we've learned so far.
Okay, I'll try. Hi, I'd like to order a venti half-calf, half-decaf iced mocha with whipped cream, please.
Great job. Now, let's move on to level 4, where we'll practice handling unexpected situations, like if they're out of your favorite syrup.
That's a good point. You could say, no worries, what's a good alternative? Or can you recommend something similar?
Exactly, and don't forget the phrase, is there anything else I can get for you? Which the barista might say to offer additional items.
Pause and guess. What phrase would you use if you wanted to ask the barista to make your drink stronger?
You could say, can you add an extra shot? Or can you make it a bit stronger? Another useful phrase is can you top it off, which means to add a bit more of something.
That's helpful. What about if you want to ask for the check or pay?
You can say, can I get the bill, please? Or how much do I owe you? And if you want to pay with card, you can say, can I pay with card? Or do you take contactless payment?
Got it. And what's the difference between to go and for here?
To go means you're taking your drink with you, and for here means you're staying in the coffee shop to drink it. So you can say, I'll have it to go, please, or I'll have it for here.
That's really useful. Now, let's practice using the phrase to go in a role play.
Sounds good. I'll be the barista again, and you can order your drink to go.
Okay, I'll have a large coffee to go, please.
Great. Now, let's try something a bit more challenging. What if you want to ask for a refill?
That's a good question. Would you say, can I get a refill, please?
That's exactly right. You can say, can I get a refill, please? Or can you refill my cup? And if you want to know if it's free, you can ask, is the refill free?
That makes sense. What about if you want to complain about your drink?
Well, you can say, I'm sorry, but this isn't quite right. Can you remake it? Or I asked for no sugar, but there's sugar in my drink.
That's really helpful, Emma. What if the issue is more complex, like they got my order completely wrong?
In that case, you could say, I think there's been a mistake with my order. Can I get it remade? Or this isn't what I ordered, can you please fix it?
Those sound like great phrases. What about if I want to ask for something extra, like a refill on my drink?
You can say, can I get a refill on my coffee? Or could I have some more milk, please? It's all about being polite and clear.
I see what you mean. It's all about finding the right balance between being friendly and being firm when needed.
Exactly. And speaking of balance, let's talk about the phrase to strike a balance. It means to find a middle ground between two things.
That's really useful. For example, I'm trying to strike a balance between work and leisure time.
Exactly. Another phrase is to pick up the tab, which means to pay for someone else's bill.
Like if I said, let me pick up the tab for dinner tonight. It's a nice gesture, right?
It's very kind. Now, let's try something a bit more challenging. Pause and guess. What's the strongest phrase to use if you're extremely dissatisfied with your service? The answer is, I'm afraid this is unacceptable. I'd like to speak to your manager. It's direct and shows you're serious about the issue.
Wow, that does sound strong. I can see how it would get attention.
Yes, and it's all about using the right language in the right situation. Let's summarize what we've learned today.
We've covered a lot of ground, from simple orders to complex complaints, and even some advanced phrases like to strike a balance and to pick up the tab.
That's right, and now, it's time to think about how you can apply these phrases in your own life. Can you think of a time when you had to complain about something at a coffee shop?
Actually, yes. I once ordered a coffee and they forgot to add the cream. I just politely asked them to add it, but now I know I could have used some of the phrases we discussed today.
See, it's all about being prepared and knowing how to express yourself. Now, let's loop back to the beginning. What's the one thing you wish you knew before ordering at a coffee shop?
For me, it would be how to clearly communicate my order and how to politely correct mistakes. It makes a big difference in the experience.
Absolutely. And that's why we want to hear from you. What's your worst coffee shop experience, and how did you handle it? Share your story in the comments below.